Last week, I posted a story on my Instagram about my communication confidence program. Went back to make coffee, came back 10 minutes later, and I had over 1700 queries about the program. I sat there staring at my phone, thinking this isn't just interest. This is hunger. Something about communication touches a nerve in people that almost nothing else does. And that got me genuinely curious about why. Why are we as humans so viscerally drawn to the idea of communicating better? Why does lacking it almost feel like a threat to our survival? And then I remember something that I read in one of the most eye-opening books that I've ever picked up. Now, Yuval Noah Harari, in his best-selling book *Sapiens*, by the way, read this book, fantastic read, talks about the evolution of mankind. And there's one insight in there that most people just gloss over, scan over. But as a communication coach, it completely floored me. Homo sapiens, which is just the scientific name for us, modern humans, evolved faster than any other species on this planet. And not because we were the strongest or something like that. And also not because we were the fastest. Definitely not because we had the sharpest claws. We evolved faster because of one thing and one thing only: our ability to communicate. Words, tones, sentences. These allowed us as a species to do something that no other animal could do at scale, which is share complex information with each other. We could plan an entire hunting strategy, we could warn each other about danger, and we could tell the next generation, that berry is poisonous, don't touch it. And suddenly, that lesson didn't have to be relearned the hard way by every single person who came after us. Now think about what that means for a second. If a species couldn't communicate with the other members of its group, they were constantly vulnerable. They'd get ambushed. They'd make the same deadly mistakes over and over and over again. And their growth would absolutely slow down, and eventually they'd go extinct. Language didn't just help us survive. Language is the reason we are sitting here having this conversation right now. And here's what I find fascinating, absolutely fascinating from my own lens as a communication coach. That ancient wiring is still inside us. That's why when you feel like you can't express yourself, it doesn't just feel like a social inconvenience. It feels suffocating. It feels frustrating. It feels like a threat. Your nervous system doesn't know you're just in an awkward meeting. It thinks you're about to be left behind by the tribe. Now, communication isn't just a soft skill. It is the most important soft skill, but it isn't just a soft skill. It is a survival skill. It always has been. Now, let me bring this out of the prehistoric caves and into your actual life. By the way, when I was struggling in my own closest relationships, I wish somebody gave me what I'm about to show you. I created India's first conflict resolution card game called Let's Fix It. It is a conversational tool that you can use to solve fights and conflicts with your loved ones. Relationships are like puzzles, and each fight reveals a missing piece. And most people avoid fights thinking that fights are going to damage relationships, when in reality, fights don't damage relationships. A lack of repair damages relationships. And Let's Fix It is your repair tool. It helps you create stronger bonds. It helps you solve fights and build stronger emotional bonds, and to make your relationships bulletproof. Now, Let's Fix It is available at beingbeyond.in and on Amazon. Now back to the video. I want you to think about your office, your workplace. You're technically brilliant. Your knowledge is a solid 10 on 10. You know your craft, you do your work, you deliver results, you help the company grow, and yet somehow you keep getting passed over. You're not the one in the room who gets heard. You're not the one people turn to when decisions are getting made. Someone else, maybe even someone less technically capable than you are, seems to get all of the visibility. And you just can't figure out why. You're just hammering your head trying to figure out why. But I want to tell you something that might be uncomfortable to hear. That room, your office, isn't rewarding your knowledge. That room is rewarding how well you can communicate that knowledge, how you enter a conversation, how you handle pushback, whether people feel something when you speak, clarity, confidence, trust. Your technical ability got you in the door, but your communication skills determine how far you go once you're inside. If I was doing communication work not in social media, if I hadn't come out and talked to you about it, how would you know that I could help you with this? I have spent years coaching individuals and professionals on communication. And I've noticed that people who genuinely transform the fastest, they aren't the ones who read the most books or attended the most workshops and seminars. They're the ones who've built a small number of very specific daily habits that compound over time. So today I'm going to give you the 4 highest leverage habits that I know. And if you only do these consistently every single day, they will take your communication from a 3 to a 10 in 2026. Not someday, but this very year. Let's talk about it. Habit number 1. I want you to set a communication goal before every interaction. Before you walk into any sort of conversation, any interaction, a meeting, a tough talk with a friend, a casual catch up, even a quick call, just ask yourself this one question. What do I actually want out of this interaction? And that's it. Just one question. 30 seconds of thought. But most people never really do it, and it really costs you immensely, and it costs them enormously. Think about the different things you might want from a conversation. You might want to have fun, to laugh, to connect, to just enjoy someone's company. You might want to do business, to negotiate, to close, to align on a decision. You might want to learn, to listen more than you speak, to understand someone's perspective deeply. Or you might just want a specific benefit, maybe support, feedback, a favor, clarity on something that's been bothering you. Now, this is why this matters immensely. When you walk into a conversation without a clear goal, 2 things are happening here. Number 1 is your energy gets scattered. You're half trying to connect, half trying to make a point, half listening, half defending yourself, and none of it lands well because you're pulled in too many different directions at once. Second, your expectations are misaligned. You want emotional support from someone who showed up in a problem-solving mode. Nobody's wrong, but both of you just walk away frustrated. Think of it like walking into a gym with no idea. Now I'm going to give you an analogy to understand this better. Think of it like walking into a gym with no idea what you wanted to work on. You'd wander between machines, do a little bit of everything, and leave feeling like you did something, but not sure if it even moved the needle or did anything at all. Now imagine walking in, knowing today, upper body, shoulder strength. Suddenly, every decision yours is purposeful. Communication works the exact same way. How to do this practically now? Before your next conversation, pause for 20 to 30 seconds and ask, what do I want to walk away from this having achieved? 1 sentence. And that is your North Star. Well, habit number 2, make a habit of calling people. This one sounds almost too simple, too cliched, but I'll tell you why I'm telling you this. In a world that has collectively replaced conversation with a thumbs up emoji and a voice note at 1.5x speed, this habit is becoming one of the most powerful things you can do for your communication. Call people, actually call them, not a text, not a DM, a real live unscripted phone call. Most of us are getting more and more comfortable with edited communication. You know, the kind where you type something, read it back, delete it, rephrase it, add an emoji to soften the tone, and then send it. That process, what that process is doing is it's training you to overthink and underspeak, which is hurting your communication skills. It makes you slow and hesitant in real-time conversation because real conversation doesn't give you an edit button. A phone call puts you back in the arena. You have to think on your feet. You have to manage your tone, your pacing, your listening, all at the same time and all in real time. What a phone call does is it builds the conversational muscle that texting quietly lets atrophy. The habit is to pick one person every day and call them instead of texting. Watch how quickly your real-time conversational skills and reflexes sharpen. Now, habit number 3, I love this. Desensitize yourself to the fear of rejection. Now, this is the one that nobody wants to talk about, but it is, in my honest professional opinion, the single biggest thing standing between you and becoming a magnetic communicator. You know what makes someone truly magnetic to talk to? It's the fact that they are willing to take risks with their speech. They'll say the unexpected thing, they'll make a bold joke, they'll share the unconventional opinion, they'll be a little bit more themselves than the room asked for. And somehow that makes the room lean in to them. But I know what you do instead. You hold back. You edit yourself before you even speak. You swallow that funny comment because what if no one laughs? You don't share your real opinion because what will they think? You dim yourself down to a safe, palatable, boring version of who you actually are because somewhere in the back of your mind, there's a voice that says, who does she think she is? I know I do that sometimes. That fear of counter reaction, of rejection, of being judged, it is the gunk that is sitting on top of your real personality. So how do you fix it? You desensitize yourself. You do it deliberately, you do it systematically. For the next 7 days, every single day, find a low stakes interaction and practice being bold. Say something a little unexpected. Crack a joke with the grocery store wale bhaiya. Tell your best friend the slightly outrageous opinion you normally keep to yourself. Push your personality just past its comfort zone in situations where the stakes are low and the consequences are basically zero. Every time you take a small social risk and the world doesn't end, your nervous system updates its threat assessment. The fear gets smaller, the risk starts to feel exciting instead of terrifying. And do this for 7 days straight. By day 7, I promise you, you will notice something shift. The gunk starts to lift. Your personality, your real personality, starts to shine through in ways you had completely forgotten even were there. Because the goal was never to become a different communicator. The goal was always to become more fully yourself, who you are. And for those of you who don't know, Communication Confidence is a private coaching program that I run every month. So what we do there is I diagnose your specific communication blind spots, because everyone has them, including myself, and then build a very targeted plan to get you to your communication goals. Whether that's being more assertive at work, handling conflict without shutting down, or just feeling like yourself in a room full of people. Now, habit number 4, the lens reframe. Build T-shaped knowledge. The last habit is about what you bring into a conversation. And this one is going to change the way you think about becoming interesting to talk to. There's a concept called T-shaped competence. The most valuable people aren't the ones who know one thing deeply and nothing else, and they're also not the ones who know a little bit about everything but nothing with real depth. The most valuable people in the market have a T-shape. What do I mean by that? One area where they go very deep and several areas where they're genuinely curious, reasonably informed, and always learning. Apply this to how you build your conversational self. The most magnetic people you have ever met, the ones you could talk to for hours, had a point of view. They had a lens, a chashma, through which they saw the world. They could take one idea and connect it to something entirely surprising. That's not a personality trait. What that actually is that's a knowledge structure. Now, when you put two things that are contrasting and that shouldn't be together in the same room, when you put them together, it yields a very interesting result, a magnetic result that you can't take your mind and your eyes off of. Now, here's what you build. One deep area, the stem of the T, the thing you are the most genuinely curious about, the thing you could talk about with actual authority and passion. Go deep on that. Own it. And 3-4 soft areas. Things you enjoy exploring even if you're not an expert. Maybe it's cinema, food, culture, economics, or spirituality. You just need to be genuinely curious and paying enough attention that you have something to say. Now, this crossover between your deep area and your soft areas is where the most fascinating conversations are happening. When you can say something totally unexpected that connects two completely different worlds, people stop and go, wait, I've never thought about it that way. Now, that is what makes you an interesting communicator. Not performing and definitely not showing off, just having a genuinely rich inner world that spills naturally into the way that you talk. So those are your 4 habits. Now let me bring all of it together quickly. Habit 1, set a communication goal before every interaction. Know what you want so you can actually go get it. Habit 2, call people. Get your real-time conversational reps in every single day. Habit 3, desensitize yourself to rejection. Start small, stay consistent for 7 days and watch the real you come through. Now, habit 4 is you want to build T-shaped knowledge. Go deep on one thing, stem of the T, stay curious about many, and let the crossover make you the most interesting person in any room. None of these are complicated, you know that. None of them require a course, a certification, or a complete personality overhaul. They just require you to show up every day and do the small thing. And I want to tell you something, and this is coming from someone who has spent years in this work. Your communication is not broken. It was never broken. It's just been sitting underneath layers and layers of gunk and fear, habit, and self-editing withdrawal that have slowly muffled the version of you that actually has something to say. So stop censoring yourself. Your job isn't to become a better communicator. Let me correct that for you. Your job is to stop getting in the way of the communicator that you already are. And you can start that today with one phone call, one small act of boldness, one honest conversation, one honest question before your next meeting. Start there and then let me know how it goes. I'm always watching your replies and stories. I'll see you in the next one, so take care of yourself.